Hey y'all, welcome and welcome back to my channel. My name is Belle and this is the Belle Perspective, and today we're going to be reviewing Love and Marriage Huntsville Season 6, Episode 2, You Scots to Chill. But before we get into that, I have a few housekeeping items that I need to cover with you. Let's get into that first. Y'all already know this is a growing channel and I need your help. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. And if you have subscribed, I still need your help. Go ahead and get in the comments and let me know what you think about the episode, my commentary, and anything else that you want to talk about. I just ask that you be respectful, okay? That is all. So subscribe if you haven't. If you already have subscribed, like the video and comment. That will help me out a whole lot, all right? Let's get into this review. So we pick up from where we left off, where Stormi has confronted Mel about changing her phone number. And I'm with Stormi. I am not about to change. I'm not about to DM you to try to reach out to you to see where you are. If you've changed your number and you haven't given it to me, and I find out that you've changed your number and you didn't tell me, I'm going to assume one of three things. One, that I wasn't that important to you. Two, that you wasn't thinking about me like that. You may have forgotten, which means we don't really talk like that. Three, you changed your number and you wasn't really trying to give me the number because I probably was one of the people who you didn't want to have your number in the first place. Okay? So I'm with Stormi on this. If you change your phone number, the onus falls back on the person who changed the number to alert folks and give them the updated information. I'm not about to try to track you down like where is Carmen Sandiego? Nobody about to do all of that. Especially with Stormi being as busy as she is, being as, industrious as she is. Why would she need to be trying to track you down? I just think that that's crazy. So Mel in the confessional says that, she didn't expect Stormi to be this way and respond in this way because, when they started their friendship, she and Stormi used to joke about how she really didn't need to be needy like that. They used to joke, girl, I don't need that much from you. Just, hey, and how you doing? We can move on. I think so there are elements in order to maintain a friendship. You have to have communication. You both have to have, I was going to say communication again. You have to have open communication and you have to have some sort of shared idea, shared thoughts. You need to have something going on in order to maintain a friendship. If the track of communication is broken and you guys aren't even communicating at all, can you really call it a real friendship? And I don't think what Stormi is saying is, girl, I need to be attached to your hip the whole time. I just need you to say, hey, girl, I need some time. I need to unplug. Let me do that. That is what Stormi was asking for. We don't have to constantly talk back and forth. Matter of fact, our relationship was through text, which is fine if both parties are okay with that. But we have to have some sort of communication. It can't just be you fall off and then I'm going all around the world and trying to figure out where you at. Like, I don't understand how Melody doesn't get that. There's a difference between changing your number and needing space with a friend. You change your number, that means there's something wrong there and you haven't given it to that person. Something is wrong. That's offensive. There's an issue. So Stormi and Mel come and sit down and Stormi's like, listen, there's been, rumblings going around that I've secretly recorded you, which I don't know anything about this. When the show ends, I don't pay attention. I don't try to keep up with everything that's going on. It's just too much going on. But Stormi was like Mel went live and she was talking about, her being recorded, and all of a sudden there was rumors going around being kicked up saying that Stormi was the one that recorded her private conversation and exposed it to everyone. Stormi said, now how in the world did I do that? First of all, I'm not even that type of person to do that. And this is Stormi talking to Mel about that. She said, I'm not even the type of person to do that. Number one. Number two, the very same thing that was shared, I guess, in the secret recording or whatever is the very same thing that Mel has been sharing on her social media YouTube press tour. And I'm not understanding So in that moment, I didn't understand why Mel didn't just jump in and say, you know, I know you didn't have anything to do with it. I don't know. I would have wanted a little bit more. Now, I feel like they were kind of having like a little bit of a passive aggressive conversation back and forth. There was a little bit of passive aggression between the two of them, and I understand. But I will say I like how Stormi handled the situation, because I feel like Mel was still being, she wasn't being truthful and honest about what was going on, and that's my biggest problem with Mel. She doesn't stand 10 toes down in how she truly feels and just says it. She tries to paint this picture like everything is okay. But when things really aren't okay, you need to say that. You need to be bold enough to voice that. You can't just keep glossing over and making things look like everything, making it seem like everything is okay when it really is not. Mel was like, I'm good. I'm like, she is not good. She is lying right to our face. And I know Stormi saw that. She was like, this girl lying, but I'm not about to keep pressing her. I know where I stand. I know what to expect from her. I'm not about to play. And I really liked how Stormi, she pivoted. I like how she handled that. Mel, sweetheart, you have got to be able to communicate to people. Even if it's, no, I don't want to talk to you. No, I'm not here to be dealing with you like that. You need to be able to communicate that to people, because I'll show you another piece where she did it again. So Kimmi and Martell are talking, and Kimmy's like, you know, I'm really glad that I have Maurice in my corner. You know, I couldn't imagine not being able to have that lifeline while I'm going through what I'm going through. You know, being able to talk to someone and connect to them and talk to them about good and bad, like that's so important. And so Kimmi opens the floor for Martell and says, you miss having that person that you can connect with and have meaningful conversation and tell them everything, good or bad. And Martell's, absolutely, I miss that. You know, I want that again. And you can hear that he's alluding to the fact that he wants to be with Melody still, that he wants to be with her, and that he wants his family back. Again, here we are. I'm tired of this. I'm really tired of this, and it's really making me angry. And the reason why I say that is because, Kimmi, if your ex-husband cheated on you and dogged you out, would you want your friends to be trying to low-key reminisce on your old relationship and the way that you sympathize with Martell? Honestly, I'm just looking at you like, Kimmi, how are you really? I don't understand. I think that the expectation for women is that we get over it, we move on, we forgive, and we continue on in a relationship. But if it were vice versa, if the roles were reversed, I know that same grace would not be extended to women. And I just get so annoyed, and I don't understand why people like Kimmi and people like Nail, who whatever her name is, why would y'all be caping or even sympathizing with Martell when y'all already know what type of man he is? He's shown us time and time again, and I don't understand why we're having this conversation at this point. Martell tries to walk Mel out, and this is in one of those moments where I was like, Mel, you need to speak up, because I couldn't tell whether Mel wanted him to walk him out. I could tell she was annoyed. I could tell she didn't want it to happen, but I don't think that she was forceful enough to let him know, back off. This was also in the moment where I knew that Martell is psycho. Martell is certified psycho. All right. Martell says that Mel in a confessional, Mel said no, but I know she didn't really mean it, and she knows that I'm a gentleman. Now, if we switch this conversation to talk about any other thing, Martell, if we filled in the blanks to what he just said, a woman is telling you no, but you're not taking no for an answer, but you still consider yourself a gentleman. Sir, that is not gentleman-like. You are psycho. If the woman said, your ex-wife, who is no longer married to you, who is not interested in you, said, no, I don't want you to walk me out, You are no longer my husband. You do not have any duty to protect me, because if you wanted to protect her, you wouldn't be running out in the street the way that you did. You don't need to do it now. Too little, too late, right? But he's trying to put on his cape because he's flipping, flopping back and forth. And I love the way Maurice pointed out that he's a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. He absolutely is. I'm gonna have to give it to Maurice. Maurice, you really. Anyway, I'll get into that in just a second. But again, I couldn't tell if Mel really wanted him to back off. I needed her to stand 10 toes down and say, "Get the fuck back." I really needed her to do that in that moment, because Martell is psycho. He thinks he knows what's best, and he really needs someone to be aggressive with him and tell him to get the fuck out, go away. She approaches Tiffany and Lewis, and I guess she was trying to get them to have him. I think she was trying to approach Tiffany and Lewis just so that she can maybe have them help him understand that he need to move. But they didn't do anything but laugh it off and try to encourage her to continue to let him walk her out. And again, Martell, you are psycho. You need to leave this woman alone. You need to leave this woman alone. And ultimately, I don't understand why Mel is still on the show. People are still going to try to cape for them. They're still going to try to sympathize for Martell. I just don't think it's healthy for Melody to be on the show anymore. I really don't. So Kimmi's at home and she's prepping for surgery. She is going to be going out for surgery, I guess, the next day. So she's packing her bag. She sits down and she's talking to Maurice about everything, and that she's tired and that she's happy about being able to share everything that happened. Shared the PET scan results with her friends and family, and she was happy to share that moment with everyone. And Maurice is like, I really just need you to recharge, because Kimmi is saying that she wants to cook for him before she goes out for surgery. And Maurice just looked at her and was just like, "Sweetheart, please, I just need you to recharge. I don't need you to be doing none of that." And I really love the way Maurice has been stepping up, and I apologize, Maurice, for the slack that I was giving you in the last season. Kimmi brings up the fact that, I talked to Martell and he really misses his family. Sounds like he really misses Mel. And Maurice was like, "Listen, Martell is a double-minded man." He was like, and people who typically ruin their relationships and make the mistakes, yeah, they typically live in regret. They typically do. I was like, Maurice, if you don't, he said, anytime you're the person who created all the issues, you're going to be in regret. You really are. He is absolutely right. He said, bro, it's time to move on, okay? It is time to move on, because it's going to forever be cold. And I love that he stood in that. I'm like, thank you, Maurice. You're the only one who is saying, leave this woman alone. You need to move on, which he really does. If they were to ever get back, that's fine later on in life, but you can't be trying to force this woman, corner her, manipulate her, lie. When she's not doing what he wants her to do, he lying on her. When they finally get a groove together, right? This is the cycle of Martell. They'll finally get in a groove, right? They're talking, "Hey, how you doing, Martell? Okay, here are the kids." They have a conversation, they're talking. Martell takes it as his invitation to try to move in and be in her life again. She's like, "No, Martell, I don't want you in my life." Then he turn around and retaliate against her by trying to attack her as a mother. Then they go through that whole piece, right? Go back and forth with all of that. He starts attacking her as a mother, as a woman, and all these things just because she wouldn't let him back in her life. They finally settle all of that. She lets him back in again to just be a father. He then tries to move in as a husband again, and she like, no. And then they go through that whole cycle again. Martell literally is trying to manipulate and force his way back into Mel's life, no matter how many times she's saying to him, "I'm not interested, move the hell on." And I feel like Maurice was telling the absolute truth the entire time. Martell is a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways, and he gonna feel regret. And that's just that on that. If Martell ain't telling the truth, and I'm surprised at Kimmi for even sympathizing with him, because Maurice says, you know, he this is a mistake that he's made. You know, he gonna have to move on. And Kimmi says, well, it's easier said than done. I'm like, Kimmi, I know you not sympathizing with Martell, because if the shoe were on the other foot, it was your ex trying to be in your life, you would not be here. You would not be here for it at all. So we get to Nail. Her name is Nail, like actual Nail. Nail. That's interesting. Nail, Chris, and Martell. They saying it's date night. But I'm like, now y'all know, ain't nobody filming y'all. Chris and Nail. Ain't nobody filming y'all. So whatever. They should have chose a different. They should have chose a different way of trying to introduce Martell or introducing this. They should have chose a different way, because it don't make sense. Okay, so they're asking Martell, you know, who are you dating seriously? Are you looking to date? Blah, 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 blah. Are you out on the market again? Martell says yes. They bring up Sheree. He says, yeah, me and Sheree are having a good time. You know, it's nothing serious. I'm still out there. I don't care if they're not really serious like that. I would never want a man to talk about me like that. I would never want a man to talk about me like I'm an option. Like, just to fit, like, girl, you an option, girl. I just couldn't live like that. I really couldn't. I couldn't live like that. Martell says in the confessional that he plans to propose this year. Martell, he just liked the idea of having a wife. He just want a wife. He wants someone who's a home base. He can still run out in the street and do whatever the hell he want to do. Because now you are free to be in the street. Have the girlfriends. Do all the things that you want to. Go out and do it. Live your life. Go out. Bust them all down. Go bust them down. Bust them all down. Please. Go, Martell. Be out there in the street where you belong. Martell just want a home base, and it'll be boo the damn fool, Sheree. He not gonna marry her, but he just need to find another fool, okay? And again, Sheree, if a dude I was dating, even if I was just talking to him, talked about me like that, the way that he said that you basically, it ain't serious, we just hanging out, and you're a nice person to keep company, girl, I would not. So Chris brings up, and y'all have to forgive me, and my allergies are kicking my tail, so I'm like scratching everywhere. I broke out in hives the other day. It's just been a mess. Anyway, so Chris asks Martell, so how long are you gonna be dating Sheree, right? How long are you gonna be wasting her time, basically? He says, well, when God says go. Martell, you are pathetic. You are a pathetic excuse for a man. Y'all already know that God Says Go is Melody's brand. And he, in the confessional, says, well, if Melody says that God can tell her to go, I'm waiting on God to tell me too. I'm like, all right, Martell, you ain't. I don't have time. I don't have time. Martell says that, you know, there were issues. He took his wife to court because he took Melody to court because she had like 20 babysitters, and Nell was like, boy, she don't have 20 babysitters. I'm not about to play with you. You're not gonna sit up here and play in my face. I don't have time for this. Stop. She literally was like, I don't believe that. I don't believe that. He says, yeah, she does. What if he did that? What if she does? I'm like, sir, that right there lets me know that you just making stuff up, and she really doesn't have 20 girlfriends, 20 boyfriends, 20 babysitters. I couldn't get it out. Sorry, 20 girlfriends is what he said. Marceau had, because you know 20 is his favorite number, y'all. Again, I don't know anybody who would sit up there and believe Martell. I don't know why anybody would sit up there and even talk to Martell. I couldn't ask Martell what day of the week it is and believe him. I would have to verify that as well. Martell says the least that they can do is allow the kids to spend time together with both their parents. And I said, that's it. Martell is trying to use his children as a pawn, as if I didn't already know this, but he's trying to use his children as a pawn to make it an excuse to try to spend time with Melody. Because he says, you know, she drops off the kids for like 7 days and she doesn't call. I'm like, again, I'm child free. So why would she need to call you when you have the kids? Is there an emergency? Do she need to, like, is the kids need something? Why does she need to call you when you got the kids? You got the kids. What else do she need to? Martell, see, you not trying to, mm-mm. Anyway, so we get to LaTisha and Courtney. I don't know who that boy was behind that bar, but baby, I saw LaTisha. She was flirting with him. All right, Tisha. Girl, I know you ain't getting none. I know that sex lazy with Marceau. Ugh. Y'all saw Tisha flirting? Child. Anyway, Tisha meets with her cousin. These women are absolutely gorgeous. They all look damn like. They all look exactly alike and are absolutely breathtaking. Tisha wants Courtney to join her brokerage firm. Courtney wants Tisha to make up with Keke. And I'm like, okay. They show kind of like a montage of Keke and Tisha and how they were when they knew each other when they were like 13 years old, and they come up this far, which makes it even worse to me that you would side with Melody and do what you did with Melody just so that you can get on the show with your cousin who you've known since you were 13. I think that is probably one of the most pathetic things I've seen on TV as of yet. They make a deal. If I talk to Keke, try to, reconcile with her, then you have to join my brokerage firm. They make a deal. They're gonna move forward with that. Nell meets up with Mel. Again, I think this conversation was asinine. This conversation was asinine. Nell, I don't know why you believe Martell. I don't know why you're bringing Martell's foolishness back to Melody. I don't know why you think that you need to get involved in these divorced people's business. This conversation was the dumbest thing I've ever heard. This was dumb. This was so dumb. Get out this lady business. Now, the only thing that was getting on my nerves when Nell was like, okay, so who you dating? What's going on? The same questions that they were asking Martell. Melody was like, I know it's more important things going on in Huntsville than knowing who laid up with Melody. Actually, it's not. It isn't. It's not. They want to know what's going on with you because Huntsville ain't got nothing else going on. Girl, it's Huntsville. Okay? And the show is called, again, Love and or Marriage Huntsville. Why are you destiny in us now? Okay, girl, we heard about your little congressman or your little we heard about your politician and the sticky fingers. We heard about that. I don't know why you acting like this. Again, I don't know why Nell brought her what Martell was saying. It's a mess. I will say, I do remember when I broke up with this guy. He and I were dating for like 2.5 years, and everybody knew us together. He started dating someone else, but he still was kind of like, we ended it, and he wasn't able to come back. Like, I changed my number. When we done, we done. When I'm done, I'm done. But people still kept coming around and saying, "Ooh, girl, I heard he was with such and such," and I'm just looking at them like, I don't care. I don't give a fuck where you saw him at. I'm not with him, and I don't give a damn. And I guess they thought that I was still supposed to be hurt because he was dating someone else. They thought I was supposed to be hurt because he got married. We had broken up, and he got married maybe 4 or 5 years after we broke up. I don't give. People's like, oh, you heard he got married. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. What the fuck? What you doing? That's her problem. Girl, I don't give a fuck what you doing. But people still can't let it go. They would even still call, y'all gonna get back together. Y'all was just so cute together. So, okay. People just need to learn how to mind their business. Like, you don't know what the fuck was going on in that relationship. You have no idea how toxic it was. You don't know what was going on. And if you do, why would you wish that on someone to have them? Why would you wish that person to go back to that? Like, I don't know. I understand that you decided, women like Nell decided to forgive their husband for cheating on them and carrying on and doing whatever he was doing. That's fine if that's what you want to do. But other women ain't trying to do that. Everybody is not trying to set the precedence of, yeah, it's okay to cheat on me Yes, I can. All I gotta do is forgive you. I'm built for tough, and I can handle all of that. No, 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 no. What's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you can do what you do, if what you're doing is not, you can't tolerate what you're doing, then there's, what are we talking? What we doing? Anyway, the end of the show, Keke meets up with Tisha at the kickboxing thing, and they're gonna, I guess, kind of talk about where they went wrong. Honestly, I wouldn't trust Keke with nothing. I wouldn't trust her with nothing. She couldn't get anything from me, but we'll see how this goes. Anyway, y'all get down in the comments and let me know what y'all think about the episode. Please be respectful as much as possible. I will delete you. I will delete you if you are disrespectful. Yeah. My name is Belle. This has been the Belle Perspective. You guys get down in the comments. Get down, and let me know what y'all think. Take care.